All right, good morning, folks. Welcome in. It's House Edge Live with John from Pro Craps here on Casino Gaming TV. Good morning. I got the mic working. I got the door closed. I got the camera working. It's like the whole thing is going to happen. Can you believe it? It's all going to happen in real time the right way. So I got it going. All right, let's get going here. Couple things. Getting going. I unfortunately couldn't make it to Vegas. I mean, Big AZ's there right now. They got the whole Big AZ Blue Ranch crew's out there right now, actually playing, recording and all this kind of stuff. And I couldn't make it out there. Just too poor right now. You know what I mean? And we had the Craps for the Cure event. We just went to Vegas and back. Just did a cruise and came back. We've had all this weird family drama, as you know, happening, and whatever. So couldn't really afford to make a second trip right out there again. I got to go back out there again mid-October and again mid-November. So I'm trying to save my pennies so I can afford to keep doing the travel stuff. So anyway, hopefully I'll hear back from Big AZ and a couple of our friends who are there, and we'll get some live reports, at least some updates on how things are going at those tables. So I'll let you know as I find out how it's going out there. And of course, we've got this coming weekend is the Casino Tiers event as well. I'll try to get some live reports from those folks and let you know how that thing is going. So a lot of stuff happening out there in the world, and I'll try and get you reports from folks that are at those places as soon as I can. I'd like to make this show, get some more live reporting coming in, right, and get some more stuff like that happening. So anyway, there's that. Skill says, when's the next DVP? I don't know yet. The problem we have, honestly, it's twofold, right? One problem with the DVP show, Dealer versus Player, is timing. As you know, Casino Quest and I'm working for them now, and we're building this app, and so it's all hands on deck 24/7. Like, I'm working 16-hour days getting the app put together. So is David putting all the deals together to make the app happen. So we just had not had time where it meshes that we can get it done. That's part of it. The other part of it is doing a show like that remotely is very difficult because obviously the crosstalk's really hard. Like, even with Zoom, the crosstalk is hard. There's a little bit of a delay. It feels like we're bumping into each other. It's not natural. Better when I'm there. So we're going to try and knock out a couple of those shows when I go there next time and pre-record them and just not have audience interaction. We'll just do the show and then we'll have them in the hopper. And that way we can do it like that. And then we'll do them as premieres and be out there and chat. So that may be the way to do it. So that's the reason why. Just timing. It's just really timing. And we never did figure out how to make it really, because again, when you're doing an interview, it's one thing, right? We're talking online, it's fine. But when it's like call out the bets, make the bets, critique the bets, Dennis is making jokes, it's too much going on and we can't see each other. So it's very, very difficult to pull that off. So that's the main reason why. All right, let's do a couple of things here. I'm going to jump ahead and I want to, let's see, we're going to go here, I think, right? And I want to talk with you about Crash for the Cure 25. So we're still obviously not quite done yet. I'm going to make one change to my screen here. We're going to turn the green screen thing off. Oh God, look at that, I went away. I'll turn that back on in a minute. We are not quite done. We're going to do the raffle drawing Friday for 3 items. We have the felt from Gargoyle, we have the Absinthe Show, we have the Access Power Craps clinics. I want to run through those with you as quick as can be here. So here we go. First thing we have is the Gargoyle felts that he's putting up, which I think are amazing in their own right. You've got one of them is from the Aladdin. So Gargoyle is a collector. You may or may not know this, and maybe from watching him and Jeff do their shows, he's a collector. He's got a lot of felts from a lot, and when the casino goes under or they change things out, he buys up the felts, right? These things are historical pieces, right? Aladdin no longer there. It's where Bally's took over the Aladdin, and now it's the horseshoe, right? That's a long time, right? That felt will never be played on again. And there's millions of dollars on these things. That's how I always talk about this, right? So there's that. There is the next one is the one from the Frontier, also closed down, right? This is a super old felt. This thing is probably 50 years old, right? And you talk about millions of dollars being won and lost on a piece of felt. That's it. There's millions of dollars on that thing. That thing's probably worth $5,000, maybe 10. Right? It can be yours for $50. Go to crapsforthecure.com and put in your $50 raffle ticket. You can choose from the Aladdin felt, the Frontier felt, or this crapless felt from the Mirage. Again, another casino that's being torn down in favor of the Hard Rock, right? Never to be played on again. These are classics. They're worth a fortune, right? For $50, go to crapsforthecure.com, hit the raffles link, and put your bid in on one of these guys, all right? The next one we have here is the Heavy Access Power Craps seminar. So Heavy has been kind enough every year to donate this. He will admit you to one of his full weekend seminars. It's 2 full days. It's hanging out. It's 8 hours each day of dice tossing and betting lessons and storytelling and all of it. It's 100% worth $50. Crapsforthecure.com. Hit the raffle link. For $50, you get a full weekend with Heavy. And I'm telling you, he's not doing these forever, right? He may have a couple years left in him to do these things. A lot of work, right? So I would get on this really quick. If you have any interest at all, and I've hung out with Heavy, I've done one of these seminars. It's an amazing weekend of just all craps all the time. $50 for one ticket. Trust me, worth it. Crapsforthecure.com. And the last one, donated to us by K9 Comp, one of our subscribers and longtime members. 2 tickets to the show called Absinthe at Caesar's Palace. Now, this show, these tickets are $600 a piece. A piece. That's $1,200, right? For a $50 raffle ticket. He'll let you buy whenever. He'll buy them for whenever you want to go. Doesn't matter what time of year you're going to be there. Your next trip to Vegas, once in a lifetime kind of a show. 50 freaking bucks. Crapsforthecure.com. We're going to make the drawing on Friday, so please get out there and get yourself in now for these things. Again, there's plenty of time, right? We got 4 days to get it done, but get your tickets in, right? I'm going to draw this thing on Friday, and that's going to be the end of it until next year. So I would love to see all of you getting in on some of this amazing action. All right. Now, as we move forward in the show, reminder of the bridge concepts, right? We talk about understanding your bankroll, understanding your risk profile, right? And again, a lot of this, to me, it's split down the middle why the bridge is important. It's important because I want you to enjoy your experience, right? So if your risk profile doesn't match your bankroll, you're a high risk guy with no money, you're not going to enjoy your time. You got to find other ways to play, right? If you're a low risk guy with a ton of money, you may not be maximizing, right, what you're coming to the table with, right? Identify opportunity. David did a great video the other day where he was talking about leaning into a role. When do you lean in? How do you lean in? The appropriate time to lean in might not be when you're upside down $600 out of a $700 buy-in. The right time to lean in might be when you're up $150 out of a $700 buy-in, right? You got to use your bankroll to sort of let you know when it's appropriate to lean in or lean back, right? Discipline kind of allows that to happen. If you build that discipline muscle up, you can execute better. Of course, having goals, having your emotions under control, all that stuff matters. It all matters, right? What does your pie chart look like? You know, mine more heavy on bankroll, goals, money management, and discipline than it is on strategy, right? I only play a couple of ways, and you all know this. I have very few ways to play. Like I literally do the pass line parlay, I do the headless horseman, or I go inside and I press to the rafters, right? Inside to outside and I press to the rafters. That's my 3 ways of playing. It's literally it, right? 2 super low house edge ways to play. All of what I do, I try to lean into it, right? When I get ahead, I do the across, go to the sky thing. When I'm even or when I'm building, it's pass line parlay and it's headless horseman. That's it, right? Why? Because I understand how the rhythm works, the funky little thing called rhythm. We talk about this kind of stuff all the time, right? You win or lose in chaos. And the games are filled with variance. And we talk about variance a lot on this show. And to repeat it, right? You are never going to see, and I say never, 1 in a billion times, you're going to see a perfect 36 roll sequence where you get exactly 6 sevens and all that. And even within the 36 rolls, it's not going to be every 6th roll is a 7. You might have 6 sevens on the first 7 or first 6 rolls and then never see a 7 again for 30 rolls. That also classifies as variance. Even if you get a perfect 36, within the 36, you're not going to get them all spread out perfectly. It'll never happen, right? You live in a world where nothing is as expected. That's variance, right? You live in a world where there are big swings in the action, right? I'm going to show you a swing that we had yesterday. That's a crazy swing that I didn't realize was happening when it was happening, right? You'll have trending, you'll have tempo, you'll have, again, massive streaks that happen, right? If you bet low house edge and less aggressive ways to play, you won't create opportunity. Now you can bet low house edge plays with a high aggressiveness and capitalize on chaos. You still can capitalize on those 50-50 kind of bets, right? There's more swing and more miss when you're playing the higher house edge, a little riskier stuff. You've got to make sure that you're aware of what's happening, right? You win and lose in chaos. And I can't stress that enough. Now, when I say that, I want you to think about, and I'm going to try and, I keep saying this, I've talked about it for years, and I've got to get you the perfect set of roles that sort of fits this. And I think this can be in any game, right? This is not crap specific. It could be in roulette on the red and black or the dozens. It could be in blackjack, it could be baccarat, whatever the game is, right? What happens to you and the way that you like to play, whether it's a ladder, whether it's a progression, whether it's a regression, what happens to you when you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses consecutively? How does your strategy survive? You're going to say, oh my God, if I had 6 losses, I would be crushed. Well, I would tell you this. If you brought 250 and you're betting quarters on just the pass line, looking for a 4 or 5 leg parlay, and you lose 6 times in a row, that will suck, but you'll only lose $150. When you win, you'll win $225 when that thing works itself out for you, right? What happens the way you play when you experience the ugly chaos? What happens the way you play when you have 6 consecutive wins? I'm going to show you today, by the way, what it looks like 6 consecutive wins when you're same betting, when you're progression betting, and when you're regression betting. You'll see the big difference in the way that you handle those things. Those streaks are really a big thing when you're playing it out, right? What happens when you lose 2, then win 1? Or lose 1, then win 2? Or win 1, lose 2, win 2, lose 1? Or you're a straight chop where you're win, loss, when you're back and forth, right? These are all things that happen, right? These are all rhythms, typical, the most typical rhythms that I think we see. Lose a bunch, win a bunch, and you're 2-1 or 1-2, and you're kind of fighting back and forth in that system, right? That's kind of a chop, right? It's a heavy chop, what I call a heavy chop, versus a straight chop, which is win, loss, win, loss. How do you handle it? Mentally, how's your bankroll handle it? And how does your betting style deal with that? Can you capitalize when it's going good, right? There you go. Flip a coin, heads I win, tails you lose. Now play the parlay, right? Here's the thing, and I say this a lot, and I think I've used this example before. There's a system out there, called the Kelly criterion. You've probably, and I think I've told you to watch videos on Kelly. Watch the Kelly criterion videos. They're fascinating. They, and again, it was a math problem, a math thing they did at a college. And it wasn't really about betting, but it becomes about betting, right? Bankroll dictates it. Kelly is a bankroll-driven system. But really what they did was they gave these college kids this problem. And they said, look, it's a coin flip. It's a 50-50 bet, right? You're given $100. There's going to be 100 flips of the coin. And we're going to tell you at the outset. And they gave them a different swing. At the outset, we're going to tell you there's going to be 50 winners and 50 losers. Who can make the most money, right? It was all about writing an algorithm to create opportunity from a 50-50 situation. Then they changed it, and they said if you knew in advance you were going to win 60 and lose 40, would your algorithm still be the best? And it's interesting that the people who had the most money in the 50-50 game didn't win the most money when it was 60-40. The same algorithm, right? So they tuned it to say, look, when you've got an advantage, a known advantage, 60-40, how do you bet, right? This is all about understanding chaos and how do you capitalize on the runs that happen within that. It could be 50 wins in a row, 50 losses in a row. It could be total chop. It could be 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. They don't know. but they got to capitalize on the way to win. Kelly comes down to basically betting as a percentage of your bankroll during those moments, right? And that's kind of how that worked out. But this is very common stuff. We see these patterns all the time. How do you play in those patterns? Now look at yesterday. I'm going to show you what happened yesterday. We had some chaos yesterday, and it wasn't a lot of chaos, but it was enough chaos, I think, to be interesting. Okay. And I'll pull up the rolls here, and actually I can probably pull them up now. Can I pull them up now? Let me do this. Let me do, I don't think I can do this where you can see it all, but let me go to the Nexus. This is our Nexus app, by the way. I'm going to go to Craps and the roll logger from yesterday. Craps House Edge Live, and here's the logs. So if I show all the shooters from yesterday, so let's buzz down some, because the first shooter wasn't very interesting. We set a point of 8, and actually it kind of was, right? This is one of these things where we set a point and we had 3 outside numbers, 4, 4, 10, and then we 7'd out. So if you're an inside bettor, you got nothing out of that roll. That's a good thing to look at, right? The next shooter was interesting though, right? Come out winner, set a point of 9, hit a 5, whack the point. Set a point of 5, hit a point of 5. 7 come out winner. Set a point of 6, hit a point of 6. Like we're buckshotting and coming out winnings, right? 8. And then we had 1, 2, 3, 4 5s in a row. Chaos. Hit the point of 8. So if you're following along at home, we set a point of 9 and hit it. Set a point of 5 and hit it. Set a point of 6 and hit it. Set a point of 8 and hit it. That's the 4-point fire bet with 5, 5. Set a point of 10 and 7 down. Interesting stuff, right? The next shooter had a come out 2, which sucked, and then he had 7, 11, 11, right? 3 in a row come out winners, come out loser, and then we set our point and hit our point. Set a point, hit a point, set a point, and I think he 7's out, right? So we had some interesting rhythm yesterday, right? If we go back to where I just was, in here, right? Look at some of the things that happened in just those 50 rolls, not even 50, 40-something rolls yesterday. Right? First guy, no come out winners, 3 box numbers, all outsides. The second shooter, come out winner, point hit, come out winner, point hit, 6 in a row. Right? That's magical. I look for 4 in a row. That guy had 6 wins in a row. Now, again, I was flat betting because I wanted to try and show you just counting, right? If you're playing the pass line parlay, that's 6 in a row. You also had 4 5s in a row, which is a crazy thing, right? We talked about 2 weeks ago, can 3 5s match the ATS? And it does. 4 5s, if you actually pressed it 4 times, that's almost your repeater bet, right? 4 5s, chaos. 6 winners on the pass line in a row without a loss, chaos, right? Only 9 inside numbers. It wasn't like there was a regular bettor doesn't make a lot of money. It's 9 inside numbers. You're going to get the press and collect a few times, but that's it, right? But there's chaos in that roll, right? And if you go back a screen, right, there's that. What do you do when you have this 6 consecutive wins? How do you handle that, right? What are you doing in that moment, right? Shoot a 3, come out loss, but 3 come out winners. If you're doing a 1-3-2, you hit the 1-3-2, right? You got profit and you're going for the 4th one. Now, of course, you had a loser after that, which kind of sucked, but you gave it a shot. 2 winners, 3 inside numbers. And then, of course, you get 2 straight PSOs at the end, right? The negative chaos, right? The big basher, the big club at the end that kind of takes your money away, right? Just in a very short session, trying to show you yesterday just what happens, average win size, average loss size, just trying to demonstrate something different. What we ended up demonstrating was how chaos can rule the day on any day. I have seen shooter 2 almost every time I go to the casino. Somebody pulls that off. And it was only a 14 roller. It wasn't like it was a great roll, right? We had 2 come out winners, 9 inside numbers, right? So that's, what's that? It's at 11, and we set 4 points or 5 points. So it was a 15, 16 roller. That was it. No horn numbers in there, right? That was not a very long roll, but it's chaotic, right? This is the thing that separates, I think, the treading water, losing money from taking opportunity. And this guy on the pass line had the opportunity, not so much the place bets, unless you bet the 5 like a maniac, right? I think it's very fascinating that that this happens every single time because, again, we live in variance. We always live in variance. We never live in the norm. So when you're outside the norm, which you always are, all of these things here are outside the norm to me, and it manifests itself in roles like we saw yesterday all the time. All the time. It isn't. It was only a 4-pointer. It was a 4-pointer. It wasn't a 6-pointer. I've never, still to my day, never seen a 6-point fire bet. I've never thrown one on my shows in all these years. I've never thrown one. I've never seen one in a casino. I know people who've done it. I've never seen one. To me, that's like the miracle of all. You talk about a Hail Mary. That is the Hail Mary of all time. I still never seen one. Right? It's crazy. Anyway, that's, I think, the point of today, right? Is understanding chaos. Now let's go to the table. I'm going to dip you down here, and we're going to not so much play it out like all the roles. I just want to show you a scenario. Okay. Let me run to the table. I think we're going to be, let's go to this view. One more screen. Nope. There we go. Okay. Let's go here. I'm going to move all the stuff. As you know, my little pad. I wish I had this like all set up without that. We don't need the pucks today. I'm just going to show you the pass line. Okay. We're going to take some chips. And I'm going to show you the pass line. We're going to play the pass line a couple of ways. All right. I'm going to do it like this. So first thing we're going to do is same bet the pass line. And we're going to take the 6 wins, which should be very, very easy. Okay. We'll take the 6 wins. I will, by the way, Skill Look, that's a great idea. I'll do that. I'll talk about that at the end of the show here. Let's take the pass line. Let's just do the 6 wins that we had. Okay. Here's the chip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll put these out here to kind of count where we are. All right. So this is going to be kind of an easy one, I suppose, at first. So the first win, obviously, and we're just going to same bet. We'll do 6 same bets, right? You win 1. The second win, same bet. The third win, same bet. The fourth win, obviously, same bet. The fifth win, same thing. Okay, look at that. Hey, 6 wins, you win 6 units, right? Same betting, you win $150. So that's one way of not capitalizing on the chaos. You win $150 if you just same bet it, which is interesting, but not the full story. All right. Let's do another version of it. Let's look at a regression player. And this will mimic, maybe you have a $25 9, you take the hit, you go down to $10, and then we start working it up. Okay. Let's do this one as a regression player. Here we go. Right. On hit number 1, you win $25. Okay, we're going to take this as nickels though, instead of as a quarter. Win 25, and we'll go down to 10. And so we're going to rack up $40 on the first win. On win number 2, and we'll do a little up and pull. We'll do a little regression up and pull. The Ken Knows Gambling special. I love this one, right? Win number 2, we win $10. We go up and pull. Win number 3, we win 3 units. We go up a unit and pull. Win number 4, we win 4 units. Maybe this time we go up 2 units. A little more aggressive and pull. Or if you want to just go up 1, we'll stay with the up 1 pattern. Right? Up 1 and pull. Okay, number 5, now we're at a quarter. Right? So again, we can go up 1 and pull, which makes our next bet $30. We'll pull 20. And the 6th one, you win $30. Okay. How did this guy do with the same set of rolls? The regression and then the up and pull, right? 6 pass line winners is an anomaly, but I'm working this out because I want you to see what happens even on 6 box numbers, right? You can take this, any 6 wins you get can be looked at this in the same way, right? Any 6 wins you get, if you bet the inside, you took 6 same bets, any 6 numbers and just same betted. That's what we're looking at, just 6 wins. Okay. Now, how did this guy do relative to the first guy? When you regress down, there's 25, there's 25, 25.50, there's $120. So the regression guy actually won 120 instead of 150. We talk about regressions always being kind of behind the roll. That's what it means. When we say regression bettors get behind the roll, that's what that means. It takes the next hit to catch up. and play even. When you're regression betting, it's good to protect the first one, right? Because if you're on the first hit, you're in good profit. The other guy's even on the first hit, so you're okay on hit number one. That's the regression better's focus, is on the first one or two hits, keeping pace, right? Not getting destroyed. But the regression betting does not capitalize on the long run, even as good as the same bettor does. Capiche? Now, let's take a look at a parlay. The way that I play the parlay. We'll do a parlay and we'll do a 1, 3, 2, 4 progression. I'll show you both ways separately. All right, let's do it again. So again, with a quarter, we'll do a 4-leg parlay the way that I would do it. Okay? You get the first one, you hit it, and it's a stack. No money comes into the rack. The second one, you hit it, and it's a stack. The third one, you hit it, and it's a stack up. The fourth one, you hit it, and that's 8 units. I'll pay it with these over here. 4, 8. That's a hit, and now you go back down, and you make your next bet 1 unit bigger. You start over again with the 2 unit as your 1. Hit number 5, you win 2, and you stack it. Hit number 6, we win 4. Right, but we don't collect because we're in the middle of a parlay system, so we don't collect. We actually lose that one. That's how that would have worked out for me, right? How did that guy do in the same set of rolls? $350. Okay, by being a little bit aggressive and leaning in, he doubles what everybody else did by being a little bit more aggressive in that thing. 4 and then restart. 4 and then restart if you do that, right? Again, capitalizing on chaos. The initial risk was only a quarter. We never risked more than $25, but we took a shot at it, right? This is a chaotic way or an aggressive way to play for chaos, looking for it. I'm risking a quarter to get me 350 in that world. Now, let's do the 1, 3, 2, 4, which is a little bit less aggressive but interesting way to play. Okay, on the 1, 3, 2, 4, on the first hit, you win 1, and you have to add 1 from your rack. Okay, second hit wins 3, you regress back down to 2. Okay, what happens is this: into your rack goes the 2 that you started with plus 2 in profit. Right, I'm going to put the 2 I started with kind of off to the side. Okay, I don't want to count that as part of our winnings. Okay, on hit number 3, you win 2 and you stack it. Hit number 4, you win the 4, and like before, that all comes back to the rack and we start over with a new 2 unit try, right? So we hit for 1, we stack it, and we add. We hit for the 3, which is actually 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We reduce back down to 2 units, 2 $50 units, and all this comes back. So discounting our initial spread, right? The one, and we of course would lose that after the 6th one. 1, 2, $350. Both of those worked out exactly the same. The 1, 3, 2, 4 and the 4-leg parlay work out exactly the same. The 1, 3, 2, 4 has a 2 unit risk profile, but a second hit reward. The 4-leg parlay has a 1 unit risk profile and a 0 reward until roll 4. Okay, if you're gonna same bet it, you're here. You're at 150. If you're going to regression bet it and go up and pull, you're at 120, less than the same bettor. If you're going to be aggressive and hammer it, here you can both win 350. On the 1, 3, 2, 4, you get some money back on the second roll. So it kind of makes everybody happy on that one there. That's just looking at the pass line. The crazy chaos, we had 6 pass line winners in a row. What could have happened? Right? These 2 actually capitalized on all 6. These 2 lost on the last one with a double press. They actually lost a bunch of money in those last rolls. But it's interesting, right? And again, these things, I think this little demonstration here works up in the box. If you wanted to set up 110 inside, for example, right, and do the exact same testing, you could do it. Doesn't matter what the chaos is. The chaos is only 6 box hits, right? And again, same betting, $35. 6 times gets you somewhere. If you took a hit and regressed the whole thing down and then same betted from there or up and pulled from there evenly across, you'd be in the same spot, right? It looks like this. If we did $35, same bet 6 times. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's your 6 $35 wins. That's a quarter. That's a quarter. There's 100, 50, 60. Let's get those as a $50. There's $210 is what you end up with if you same bet 6 times from here. Okay. If instead on hit number 1 you took $35, and we can do this at the bubble level if you'd like to. It's probably easy, but let's just do this. Let's take $35, 25, 35 on hit 1, and we'll take that, but we'll also regress ourselves down to, let's say, 44 inside. Let's take a 1 hit full regression to 44 inside, okay? Which is roughly the same ratio as before, right? We went from 25 to 10, 110 to 44. It's a little bit, it's not quite the same exact math, but we'll just do it anyway. There's 55. We'll make that look like 44. So it's $9 or $11 and change. So I'll get the $11. There's 11. There's 11. And we'll go to 44 inside. And again, on this is a good example because in that roll that I showed you, there was 9 box hits. We're just going to demonstrate what 6 looks like. So again, here, you're bringing back some money, not all your money. I'll put that up here in the top. On hit number 2, now here's where the regression bettor gets a little bit burned, right? This is over here. This is bank's money. So you get paid, we'll do 15 for 1. And we'll make the 9 go to $15, and we'll pocket the rest. That's it too. Hit number 3, we're going to do each one of these once to make it fair. Again, we'll do 14. I have to do 14 here. $14. Make the 5 go up by 1. Put the rest in the back. Hit number 4. Again, we'll do 15 for 1 on something. 15 for 1. And we'll press the 6 by 1 unit, or the 8 by, doesn't matter which one. We'll press one of them by 1 unit. Put $10 in the back. The next hit, we'll take the 6 this time. Again, 14 for 1. Or 15 for 1, 15 for 1, and we'll drop $1 and make the 6 go up. Now they're all where they should be. The last hit, something pays $21. Okay, if that just worked itself out. That's the worst case scenario, but the regression bettor puts themselves in a spot where they're so far behind the roll that the same bettor gets them. 25, 50, 75, $101. 101 versus 210 when you regress. If you regress and then up 1 unit and pull, you're at 101 versus the same bettor who has 210. See the difference there? Right? Regressing on that first hit is nice because you're out of the hand. You're at no risk here. And once that happens, you're at 0 risk. This guy here was at risk the entire time. Right? Again, risk profiling. Are you okay with the risk the entire time when the reward's going to be twice? You follow me? You got to leave your bets up there. Same bet, same bet, same bet, same bet. And pray for the 6. The reward is 2x the guy that regressed and went for the little tiny wins over time. Okay. One way kind of capitalized on chaos better than the other way did. The other way survived the chaos and did okay. The one guy kind of attacked it, right? If you left them up and you pressed them hard each time. So let's go back and do it again. We'll do a third person here. We'll do 110 one more time. Again, 6 hits. And this time, we're going to do a press. Right? We take $35 on the first win. Let's say it's the 9. And you do a full press with it. Let's say the next $35 you win on hit number 2 goes to the 5. Let's say the next $35 that you win goes to the 6. Maybe the 6 looks like 60 now with $5 change. Maybe the next one, number 4 here, goes to the 8. $35. 8 looks like 60. Now you get the hit. Now you get the 75 for 5 hit. 75 for 5. And you got your $80 up top. And your next one, if you just same betted from here, again, another 75 for 5. If you just got them up and then took 2 hits to save it, you're still at 150 in what you've pulled down. Now, if you take these down after the 6th hit, bring your money back, you're in way better shape because you're bringing back what do we have out here? 1, 2, 10, 20, 30. Got 240 out there. 340, 390 if you pulled it down on the 6th hit. The other guy could have pulled his 44 down on the middle hit. Anyway, just an example of what it looks like when you lean in and take advantage of chaos, or you're kind of looking for and promoting and attacking chaos instead of just leeching into it. That's probably the wrong word to use, but I think you understand what I'm getting at. Let me come back to the main screen here. All right, let's go back there. Boom. Yeah. So the point is, if you want to just same bet it, you will lose the house edge. You will get what you expect. If you're going to regress, you're going to be behind that whole 6 rolls. The regression up and pull person was behind the roll. He was behind the same better for 5 out of the 6 rolls, which is interesting. Even though you were safe early, right? You were behind that guy the whole way through. The people who pressed were never even until they got the magic one, right? The 4th one in the pass line parlay was the one that got him ahead. They needed 4 to get there, right? The guy that pressed, and then collect on the 5th one needed 5 hits to get to where he was not only out of the hand, but far and away ahead of everybody else, right? It's risk profile, bankroll, and what you're looking for is a reward at the end. Do you want to just keep playing? Do you want to hammer opportunity, right? And what does your bankroll have to say about it? Can you survive 110 sitting out there for 6 rolls? If you bought in for 750 and you've got 150 left, the answer to that question is no. If you bought in for 750 and you're up to 900 or 1050, then the answer is yes. You can put 110 out there and let it go for one or two times. That's bankroll leveraging. That's the bridge. It's when you do it and how you do it when you're ready to go do it. And again, I think it's all about looking for those streaks. To me, this is a streak game. Every game is a streak-based game. The thing I showed you on the pass line, the 6 wins in a row, it's an anomaly. But how many times have you won 6 hands of blackjack in a row? Or 6 reds in a row? Or 6 Bach hands in a row? That happens all the time. 6 in a row is not that big of an ask on those games. It happens all the time, right? If you're prepared for it, right? Even if it's a 1-3-2-4 instead of a straight up parlay, you're still going to end up in a pretty good spot there at the end on those last 2. Streaky games. These are streaky games, and that's where gambling really kind of plays into it, right? You got to make the decision. Do I want to be attacking this game or that game or the other game, or do you want to be a passive participant in the game? This is what I say when I talk about a lot of the low house edge guys are very passive participants. Most of them are very passive. They're not going to be pressing subsequent wins. In that particular shooter, we had 4 consecutive point winners, right? Does that player, I can actually show it to you down here again. We'll go to here again. Does the player who was on the pass line with their max odds, right? The 5x odds on that 8, does that player take the win, right? And is 150 back in here. Does that player take that win and make his next pass line bet 2 and his next odds back here become 250? Does he do that? Does he go to 250 on his odds on the next one, right? Because that's taking opportunity. That's leaning into what's going to happen, what you want to happen, should I say, not what you know is going, what you want to happen. Or is that person going to do another flat and 125 again? Or are they going to go 50 and 250? Because that's where the money is. Even for the low house edge, boring pass line with max odds guy, right? The money is made when you capitalize on your wins, not when you just let it happen. You cannot sit down there, flat bet max odds, and do any damage. Flat bet max odds, double flat bet, double odds. Now we're talking. Because now you're going to go 3 units and 3x your initial bet, all with profit. That's how you can hammer the house. But you got to be willing to do it. You got to have the bankroll that says it's okay to go. All right, I'm out of here, guys. I gotta get going. A couple things before we take off. No time for questions because it is a little later than I wanted to be. But I'm going to be talking to Dicer.io, and I'm going to be talking to Matt from Dice Data today for work reasons. I'm going to have them both on the show. We're going to build some strategies with Dicer to kind of work through like how that system works. And then I'll run some of these things I just showed you through Dicer. We can see it all, like actually happen live with different sets of rolls. Okay. I'll leave you, of course, with the quote of the week is going to be this. Just remember this: 6 months from now, you'll either have 6 months of progress or 6 months of excuses. It's your call. It's your call. Skill's mad at me, it looks like, because I didn't get the questions. What question do you have that I didn't get to, Skill? Did I miss something? I don't think I did. You never understand. I can answer real quick. Why I chose to the pass line parlay instead of place six. It's all the same. It's all the same. The pass line thing, I like the pass line parlays because of the rhythm of that bet better, right? Needing 6 6s before a 7 is pretty hard. With the pass line come out winners phase, you get a couple of freebies in there, which makes the point winners less required, if that makes any sense. That's why I like that. I like the line plays better as a parlay on a 50-50 bet. The 6 and 8 are okay, but it takes more of a miracle to get those than I think to get the pass lines to win. But again, we can run that. I can totally go to Dicer and run the 6 parlay, the 5 parlay, and the pass line parlay. We can run them all in the same set of rolls and see who does better. All right? Feel. It's all about feel. Anyway, I got to go. Remember this, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great Tuesday. I'll see you for Hump Day. Bye, all.